Welcome to Trailhead Health. In this video, Roxann Keyes, trauma touch therapist, certified massage therapist, and certified hypnotist, explains how breathing right can make all the difference in the management of stress.
So one of the big things that I noticed with people who are stressed out, they come and they lay on my table. I start people face up and I watch people's tummies. And the majority, if not, I would say like 99% of my clients come in and their tummies barely move. And you might go, well, so what does that mean? What that means from me and what I'm looking at is that they're not breathing deeply. They're not really taking that deep, really coming down into the diaphragm belly breath. What that tells me, because you're probably thinking, well, they're alive, they're breathing, they're laying on your table, right? And yes, that's true. What they're doing though is they're breathing from like this part of their body up. Why is that significant? Several reasons. One is when you breathe from your chest, you're actually using your neck muscles to help you breathe. And there's a specific set on the side that come off of your neck vertebrae, down under your collarbone, and attached to your first and second rib. So you're using them to do your inhalation and exhalation. So if you have neck head issues, you're making those worse. By not breathing way down into your belly, you're actually not using the breath in a manner that would massage your internal organs. So by breathing fully down and into the diaphragm, that actually helps massage your internal organs. That will then help them work better too. The other thing that happens with stress is we tend to, when we're in a stressful environment or a stressful moment or even a traumatic environment, we go, and then a lot of people hold their breaths for the next 20 years. Why that's significant is when it's done in that stressful moment, we actually are activating and staying in what I call the trauma. And so when we're in that part of our brain, we really literally cannot think properly. And so you have a hard time making decisions and you feel triggered your whole day. And every little thing might just set you off even farther. And it keeps that stress building and building and building. And remember, I've said our mind and our heads are connected to our body. So what happens up here happens in here. So if we can just take a moment and I start to teach my clients how to really breathe, how to bring that breath all the way in, to push your stomach up. If you put your hands there and let your hands rise and fall, it should like you're blowing up a balloon. That's how you should be breathing. And people really struggle with it. My clients really struggle because we are not used to breathing that way. But what happens is when you start to do that, you start to come down and you start to get into a different level, a state of relaxation. It starts to bring down the stress, the feeling of stress. It starts to relieve the tension within your physical body. It takes you out of that trauma brain and actually brings you back in to the part of your brain that really thinks. And so you don't feel foggy. You actually get to make better decisions. You're not triggered. You're not crabby with your kids or your coworkers. You can come home, that car ride home from work, you can just take some moments and take some big breaths. That way when you walk in and see your kids, you're like, hey, how was your day? And you're like, get out of my face. Don't ask me about dinner. You know, you just don't have that edge. So you start to calm down and your whole body calms down, your mind calms down, and your body and your mind actually start to function properly. And you have a calmer life. you're not triggered, you're not crabby, you communicate better, you make better decisions, and the easiest thing is the breath.